All right. Good evening, everybody. The time is now 5:30, so we're going to get the Finance and Personnel Committee meeting started. Roll call, Mayra Reyes,
Juan Cifuentes,
David Ballard. Bob Elverson.
okay, and we're going to
Start.
go on to informational items.
So tonight we have a few donations here. We have school supplies from the Allison Mayo and Family for Students over at O'Donnell Elementary. We've got 4 tickets from the King County Cougars for reading tournament prizes for students and families. We also have a 2014 Chevy Sonic from Melinda Thomas for the EHS Auto Department. We have a $400 and 9 Pocket Lab Heat Vise temperature sensors and National Institutes of Health Digital Interactive Media and STEM programs for EHS AP environmental class. And we also have $29,732.09 from the Aurora East Educational Fund for the 27 AEF mini grant award recipients, which I think is a new record, I think, because last year I think it was like 25. So more money this year. Any questions on the donations so far? Okay. And there as well as we have the monthly financials, which are inclusive of the revenue, expense, and fund balance reports for the month of September, along with the payroll report from September. And tonight, we're going to go through the tax levy presentation and associated resolutions for full board later tonight, but we're going to go through the presentation and all the resolutions are in there as well. So this will be the second or third time that we're seeing them. The only thing that's going to be new is the abatement amount, which we went over in full board last time, the $350,000, and those resolutions that go along with it that came from Chapman and Cutler, our bond counsel, and from Raymond James. So those are going to be in there tonight for motion for approval. And then we also have our health insurance renewal, which is in there from Hub, which is all of our, I don't know if you guys had a chance to go through all of it, but it's all there. It's actually a pretty decent renewal for this year. It's the best since I've been here so far, which is a good thing. So keep in mind the renewal goes from January through December. So it is calendar year. So it's calendar year 2026. The plan is to have open enrollment December 1st through the 15th. It's going to be about 2 weeks later than it traditionally is. So we're going to do it then. And there will be new insurance cards that will be mailed out to everybody in early January. So, yep.
and this one's up for a motion in the
Correct.
regular
At
meeting?
full board.
Okay.
Yep. Tonight. So that's dropping down tonight. The next thing on there is a beverage vending contract. Our beverage vending contract right now is with Coca-Cola. It's going through the end of July of 2026. So it gives us through this fiscal year, but it gives us time to go out for the RFP for vending. And we're going to be looking at doing a request for proposal while trying to get some future funding for a scoreboard as well, a digital scoreboard or visual digital scoreboard, and to sell some advertising space on there, et cetera. So that's going to be written into the specs, and we were looking to have that out probably, I would say December, January, and probably back to full board for approval once it goes out for request for proposal in either February or March of 2026. Any questions on that or the timeline? And then we can go through the presentation then, unless you want to go, Dr. Ballard.
I'll leave it to the chair to decide.
Okay. All right. Presentation, we're going to go through it. Thank you. Well, thank you. So, all right. So this is for the 2025 tax levy. We can go to the next slide. So here's the tax levy time table that we've kind of gone through already. So you can see October 6th, we met at the F&P, presented the 2025 tax levy and along with the alternate bond abatement and recommendations to approve the estimated levy, which took place. Liz Hennessy came out on the 17th, or no, was it the 7th? Was it the 3rd or 17th or both? Could have been both. It was a third. Came out and presented the abatement. Tonight, November 3rd, we're going to be making recommendation to adopt the 2025 tax levy. Needs to be filed by December 31st. As you can see up there, spring 2026, you'll have the final property values are going to be released. The abatement will be finalized and taxes will go out. And then the first installment of revenue will be for June 2026. And the second installment will be September of 2026. Next slide. So these are property values by type. As you can see, the largest value is residential, making up 80%. The next largest is going to be commercial at 14%. Farm, I believe, came in at almost zero. State and Illinois Railroad at 1%, and then industrial at 5%. Next slide. So here's the non-audited breakdown of revenues. As you can see, most of our revenue comes in from evidence-based funding, about 7% from the state, about 22% from federal grants. Real estate taxes make up 14%, corporate personal replacement property tax at 2%, and then 3% from local. Next slide. So these were the known factors last time we went out. So we had the 2024 total EAV, which was a little bit over almost 1.25 billion. Tax extension right now, not including bonds, was 37 million, almost 800,000. The CPI was 2.9%. It's capped at 5%. We are Collard County, and we do follow PTEL here. So you can see the maximum levy extension for existing property for 2025, just based on those calculations, would be just under $38.9 million. Unknown factors right now is still an estimate of the AV going up 11.51, but it seems to be pretty standing up pretty well so far. We don't know what the new limiting rate's going to be, but we have an estimate right now of new property being at about almost $6 million of new property for 2025. Next slide. Again, this is a comparison on how we do amongst other districts here in the area. As you can see, we have the lowest tax rate around, followed by West Aurora, and then kind of goes all the way to Central 301 at almost a $6 tax rate up there at $5 and almost 93 cents. So our property taxes are the lowest around. Next slide. So this is the levy request. So this is a breakdown by fund. The education fund is our largest fund. We're requesting 19 million. Operations and maintenance at 7.35. Transportation at 5.6. Working cash at 485,000. IMRF at $1 million. Social Security at 3.9. Special education at 2.35. And total tax cap levy of 39,685,000. Our bond and interest levy, which is a standalone to pay our long-term debt, is at a little bit more than 6.5. And then at the last board meeting, it was announced the abatement would be a $350,000 abatement this year. So those were the numbers and resolutions that were used for the resolutions for later tonight at full board. So you can see the total tax levy there, just shy of 45,900,000. Next slide. Again, we're going to be seeking a 4.99% tax levy, even though we're not going to get the 4.99, we're still requesting it. And we're going to further reduce the tax burden on the local residents by an additional $350,000 to existing property owners. Next slide. So this is part of the Public Act 103-394. This shows all the fund balances that we have, or the average expenses that we have up there from FY23 through FY25 by fund, and those are the operating funds. They're considered working funds, Fund 10, 20, and 40. And then the average there, and then our average fund balances, then the percent of. So you can see we're at 63.13%. And they use this as part of the Miller calculation. If you're more than basically 2.25x, you would be subject to a reduction, in which we're nowhere near that. So we're at 63.3 and nowhere near 225%. Next slide. Any questions? All right. Okay. That's everything I got for tonight. Thank you. You're welcome.
Certainly. In your packet, you do have a memo, a recommendation to increase the substitute rate simply for retired East Aurora teachers from $150 a day to $180 a day. It's our feeling that we want, as we know, we've got a teacher shortage. We also have a substitute shortage. We want to honor our retirees. We currently have about 21 retirees working here in East Aurora. We certainly want to honor their service, and we also want to attract future retirees and also increase our substitute pool so that we don't continue to rely on internal substitution to the degree that's possible. So we wanted to present that to you for consideration, and that would, if that is something that we move forward with, we would propose that we drop for action at the next board meeting, and that would be something that we would enact if the board agrees moving forward. We would not apply that retroactively. Any questions? In making this recommendation, we have a running subtotal for all of the districts within King County. This would put us slightly above to make us attractive within King County. Our sub rate sits probably on that average daily rate, kind of in the upper tier where we're at in King County. So we have a very competitive rate. It depends on a number of factors because different districts offer different sub rates for a number of different things. So it just depends. We are competitive in this market, but in terms of retirees, this would make us one of the more competitive districts around within the area.
I have another question specifically to our subs and not just retiree subs. Do we offer any benefits?
Benefits, no.
Okay.
And this increase strictly applies to those retirees from East.
Correct.
Yeah.
And I think our timing with it's pretty solid because we do have retirees, like Dr. Ballard said, about 20 or so that are coming to sub quite a bit. But we also know this next upcoming year, we have 60 plus retirees who are going to be retiring from East Aurora. So we're going to lose a lot of our institutional knowledge that goes with that. So the more we can do to keep those individuals working with us and continue to come back to benefit our students, it's definitely going to be helpful for us in the future as well. So I think our timing's pretty spot on for this.
Awesome. Thank you, Dr. Ballard. Any questions? Okay, and at 5:43, I adjourn this meeting.